Hey, this is David and Susan from the True Blue Sand blog, and we're going to do a little pruning today. We have pruned for years with hand-powered equipment, and a few years back we bought this pole saw it's a Husky with a motor on the back. We just love this thing. It saves a lot of work. It lets us reach way up there and take things down without having to get a ladder and doing it by hand. Anyway, first thing we're going to start on is this old post oak. It's got some limbs hanging down that slap us in the face when we're walking around the house. It kind of gives us a tunnel effect as people drive in, and we like that. But, you know, we run into it when we're mowing the yard or walking through here at night walking the dog. So when you're taking branches off like this, I look at them as a severe leaner. You've got a lot of stress in there. So I like to kind of nibble them back, get some of the weight off. And if you have, one of the things you have to watch with this, if you make an undercut and you have too much weight there, that branch is going to come down and grab your saw, and then you're stuck. So you have to do very small undercuts with it, and I'll be kind of reaching up to the limit. So we're going to start out with one of these here and see how that goes. we doing? Got her? Okay, now you can walk through here without getting slapped in the face. One. Okay, what do you think of that one, Susan?
That one slaps me in the face.
That's kind of what I thought. That one gets me a lot. This one looks mostly dead. Looks like yeah, anyway, I've heard a lot of arguments against using these because you can cause damage in your trees, but the truth is, if you did all that with a hand-powered saw, it's a long process and you're worn out when you're done. And this thing, all you got to do is hold it up and get it on the right spot. One thing you do have to watch on these, if you have a steep branch angle, if you're trying to prune off where you have a steep branch angle, the upper part here will nip into your tree. So you have to kind of watch that. It's not a big problem if you're working on trees that have a branch angle more like that. If the branch angle's like this, you know, when you get in here, it's when you might have trouble. But you'll work around that. Get your stubs back short, and then you can cut them from underneath. Just don't, if you're cutting from underneath, on that last bit, just don't be pulling up too hard, because when it pops through, it'll hit your tree. So, okay, let's go find another tree. We've got some swamp chestnut oaks that we planted several years back. And swamp chestnut oak wants to go straight up and become a veneer log. But these are open grown, and so they're hanging on to their branches. And we've been trimming them up as they grow, and it's been a few years and it's got ahead of me, so I'm cutting some branches here that are really bigger than I like, but we've got to get them off because these branches are low enough yet that they're going to be, as they grow longer, they're going to be hanging down right in their face, and then we'll have a really big limb to get rid of. So we're going to go ahead and do the whacking right now, and I'm going to start with this one away from you, Susan. You might need to move in closer here to get action on that. And you'll note I'm using a chainsaw way out on the end there, but I'm wearing my chaps. And the main reason I'm doing that is because if I need to go grab a regular saw, I'm already suited up for it. And they're also warm. These keep you warm. And you'll note you're cutting several feet away from you, but when you're cutting overhead, those chips are coming down and they'll fall in behind your glasses, so you put your screen down. If you forget, you'll be reminded when those chips get in your eyes. So. note when we make these cuts, we leave a little bit of a stub. If you put this saw right back against the tree and make a flush cut, clear back to the tree, you make that wound half again as big. Around the base of each limb, you'll have some fast-growing tissue. It kind of makes a donut around it, and you want to stay out of that. It makes the wound smaller, and that's fast-growing wood that'll cover over that wound quicker than if you make a flush cut. So I'm gonna come over here and get this big one over here next, Susan. Anyway, that's quite a bit to take off, so we'll back off and look at that. I think that's about where we'll quit. I've got one up there that's got a bad branch angle, and above that I've got a fork. We'll have to assess that later and see what we want to do. You want to move down to that other one, Susan, and hit it? Okie doke. Walking down. That made short work of that. Now we've got a dead stub hanging up there, and I don't think I can reach it. Nope, that's beyond my reach. Okay, we're going to walk down to this other swamp chestnut and check it out. Okay, we got We've got another swamp chestnut oak here, and honestly, these trees got away from us. We've been busy and have not taken care of our yard trees the way we should have. So we got a whole ring of limbs there that are too low, and we're going to get them off. I hate taking off that many, but it needs to be done. And about the only disadvantage I could see to this little pole saw that we've got is when you got to fire up, you got to put it on the ground. You know, I can't hold this up and crank it. So you put it on the ground, make sure your chain's out of the dirt, and then it's ready to fire up again. So here we go. That doesn't work out. You'll see what is happening there. This it did this on the other swamp chestnut too. That oak, that white oak, is really grabby on this chain. We were cutting post oak, no problem. We hit that walnut, no problem. But that wood really grabs this chain, and it's a good sharp chain. We haven't filed the depth gauges at all, so I know it's not biting too much. That is really grabby wood, and it's not a huge motor on this thing, so it doesn't pull through that very well when it grabs. But you pull out and then try to stick it back in the same slot, and it wears out your arms. Anyway, we're going to fire up and get back at it. Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, thank you for watching. Susan says she's just about out of battery, and glad you came by to look. We love this saw. Gonna crank up and get back at her. See you later. Thank you for visiting.